how was it? How was your transition, dog? Like, because you did that, right, for 12 years, and then you were out there fucking gunfighting for all those years, and that became your life. That became normal. That became something that you know, when you do something that often, your body expects you to go back and to do that, and you're comfortable with that. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, like we were saying, you know, that like you wish you could bottle that up.
For sure.
What's it like now, dog? Being a fucking or not being able to go back and get that anymore.
It's hard, man. So what I would say the hardest thing for me, and I didn't understand it, was because I still had buddies that were in, buddies that gotten out, but that's your entire identity. You are a Marine Raider. You are a SOF operator. You are like, you've made it to the pinnacle of this organization. I think at the time there was like 220,000 Marines. I think when I left, there was maybe 700 Marine Raiders. So it's like you have an air of like, I'm doing okay. I'm doing pretty good, man. Like, and so you go from that to, and having been there for over a decade, like I had a good name, good reputation, and then you go out to where no one knows you and no one cares, and nor should they have to. I want to be very clear on that. That whole, you know, thank you for your service. Dude, it was a job. I didn't want to go to college. I didn't want to be a plumber. Military sounded cool, make some bucks, travel, cool. And so it was difficult, man. I was dealing with a lot of post-traumatic stress, trying to mask it with booze. My kids weren't even one yet, with the twins. And so there's all that stress of like, I got to find a job. I got to get a house. I got to do all these things. But then so in my instance, spent 12 years learning and refining how to be violent. And then you go to like a 3-day class. Like, this is how to be a normal dude. And you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
So you do all this training and then they give you a 3-day class before you fucking...
It's like 3 to 5 days. It's called Taps and Tams, and it's like a separations course where it's like, this is how you do a resume, and this is how you do an interview. And when you do this, like basic human stuff, you're out. That's it. And so they do a lot better now. But it was hard, dude, because a couple of the guys will call it like falling from grace. Like you went from being like the pinnacle bad motherfucker to no one cares. Right. And like I said, nor should they, but no one cares.
Either way you cut that cake, it's a situation where you're coming from here, where like you said, you fucking reach the top, right?
Yeah.
And then you come over here to where people are like, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, people were the biggest difference. So people were the biggest thing, dude, because when you're in a small team, dude, there'd be instances where guys would be out for a week, and then you're getting ready to go out for a week. Those dudes that have just been out fighting for their lives for a week are not going to go to bed until your truck is loaded, your ammo's loaded. Yo, you guys made it in safe. Now I can go to bed. Yeah. So you go from that level of camaraderie and respect and loyalty to people that will just lie, cheat, steal, throw you under the bus, and motherfuck you just to get ahead. That was the biggest shocker, because I trusted everybody. Oh, they said this, they're a good person. Okay, cool. And then you get fucked over and you're like, how did I not see that? And so there's a lot of, like, I was very naive when I got out. I'm like, oh, I have this as a resume. I can do this. I'm good. I'm in. And dude, the learning curve, that was harder for me than anything I did in the military, was just learning people. Yeah, that was rough. And then bounced around from a few jobs, just trying to figure out what I like and what I want to do. But I think the only thing that's helped is just, that's no longer my identity. I'm a good husband. I'm a good dad. I'm just Pete the dude. And once I started to kind of settle into that, then that's when things got calmer. Right. You know what I mean? But we're only talking within the last 2 years, year and a half, 2 years, right? So that's 7-8 years of just like beating my head against the wall, right? Just trying to fight and just this uphill battle. And so, yeah, it's hard.
Because it was like you said, dog, 12 years, right? And then that amount of time that you were in, how long were you a Raider?
10 years.
10 years. Oh, fuck.
Well, I mean, from recon, dude, probably 11 of my 12 years in the service.
So why wouldn't it not fucking take you another 10 years to readapt or to adapt to something different? I think that was a normal
because
type of deal.
you think if I can learn how to jump out of a plane in 3 weeks, I can learn to be a human in a day.
Exactly.
Right. So that was a big smack in the face. But what I would encourage people now when they're getting out is like, when you know you're done and you're going to leave, create, find, and foster an identity. That way you have a smoother transition. Like when you're done chasing people with guns and doing bad stuff to bad people, once you've kind of hung that up a little bit, and when it's safe too, because dude, you have to be in a safe spot. You can't be doing warrants or following bad dudes and like, oh, my new identity is I'm a whatever, I do barbecue. Like you'll die, right? So I think that is necessary, but when you're in a safe enough spot to pull back, you got to find that identity, because otherwise you'll go nuts. And people do. People are smoking themselves left and right because they don't have the community and they don't have an identity and they don't have that. And it's hard, man.